Welcome to the best of Homes on Homes. We're highlighting the hidden dangers that show up in homes, ones that could put your health and the health of your family at risk. From asbestos, mold, and buried oil tanks to pesky ants and raccoons. You have to get rid of them, but safely. In the industry, it's called an abatement process, but as far as these families are concerned, it's called getting their homes back.
Nice. Awesome. Look at the mess. They got a nest of them. Yeah, baby. If you're going to do it right the first time.
My hero.
It's perfect. On the money.
Thank you, guys.
You like it?
Oh, do I ever.
It's the best of Homes on Homes, and we're showing what we have to do with homes that have become hazardous to our health. Believe it or not, Lisa's story is not uncommon. She bought a house and rented it out to cover the mortgage. She did background checks, and she felt secure she was renting to good people. Then the police called.
I got a phone call from my son, and he said they were using the house for a marijuana grow-up. Mike, hi.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
How you doing?
It was like something so surreal. I thought, marijuana grow-up? What does that mean? So I turned to my daughter. I said, well, I guess they probably have a few plants in the house, and what's the big deal?
An interesting point is that approximately half a liter of water per day is put into the air per marijuana plant. So that obviously causes huge structural issues and mold issues because it's an excellent growing environment for mold. And in this particular case, there was over 500 plants involved here, times half a liter. There was a lot of water in the air.
I guess they left some behind, eh?
Yes.
Wow.
I was basically looking at a greenhouse, plants, watering systems, hot lights, and no ventilation, all to make those little plants grow a little faster. What else grows fast in those conditions? Mold, everywhere and on everything. The health ramifications were mind-boggling.
This is the master bedroom.
Oh, this is a little sample of what it was like downstairs.
Oh, downstairs was what you see here, but multiply it by about 5-6 times.
Well, look at the mold on the plastic. You see the mold on the plastic?
I hadn't noticed it.
Oh.
Yes. Oh, look at that.
Holy cow. Garden hose in the bathroom. Oh, my God. Oh. I think we've got a lot to fix here. They went up through the attic. I guess they wanted to vent. Oh, I do see some mold. Uh-oh.
They were blowing hot, moist air directly into the attic. So the first thing I had to check was how much mold was up there.
Oh, my God.
What's wrong?
It's full of mold.
Bad?
Yeah. There's a ton of mold on the underside of the sheeting where the shingles are nailed to. Especially around the lower perimeter, like about 6 feet up, right down, right across this way. I have mold spores on the wall behind the baseboard. That's just the surface. We'll be able to get rid of that.
There was a lot of mold in all the rooms. So at that point, we brought in the abatement pros to give us a true assessment of what had to be done.
We do a full assessment of the whole house. Air sampling we do at the beginning before we disturb any materials within the home, just to see what the air quality is like. And then we proceed to do an intrusive investigation where we cut a number of holes in the wall cavities and ceilings to determine the extent of mold growth within the house. I take it back to the laboratory and they will analyze it under the microscope, and they will generate a report, and then we can interpret the findings.
The test results showed that there was a lot of mold spores in the air. What I didn't expect was the asbestos they found in the drywall compound.
Well, what does that mean? They got to close the house up for 2 weeks, come in with suits, clear it out, so now we can come in safely and continue to work.
Once the remediation team was finished removing the mold and asbestos, we moved to the attic to get rid of the mold there. For that, we used dry ice.
The technology's been around for quite a long time. I had a client who said that they used dry ice blasting to clean the wing mold on the Avro Arrow. But in its current incarnation, it took shape down at Lockheed when they needed a way of cleaning out the tank of the space shuttle because they were going to reuse it. Basically, it's like sandblasting. You propel a granule at high pressure air against a surface to clean it. When we're working with wood, we will be taking a small amount of wood off the surface, but that's desirable for mold because the mold is grown into the wood. We can do in 1 hour, one man working with a dry ice machine can do in 1 hour what a man would normally do by hand in 5 or 6 hours. And all that you will see when you're finished is just a light sprinkling of sawdust on the floor, which then the Alliance group will then come and HEPA-vac and remove that from the premises.
So 5/8 on all 24-inch center, 1/2 inch on 16-inch center, right?
Okay.
So we're using 5/8. 2 screws in each spot. We're 24-inch on center. We're 5/8 drywall. Instead of 1 screw for 8 inches, we want 2 screws. Make it stronger. First estimate, the job, I figured a month, max 6 weeks. And then we sort of opened up a massive can of worms, which is like a lot of the jobs that I work on. By doing that, I have 2 choices. Fix it or walk away. I'm not gonna walk away. We gotta fix it. Each and every day I fix a job, make a homeowner happy, and I learn something new. You know, think about how many bathrooms, kitchens, additions, houses I've actually built. I honestly forget. But it reminds me when I step into something that's different, and that's what I stepped into, something that was different. I think I've been keeping her long enough. 9:30, what do you think?
Mold, asbestos, the teams, the environmental, not to mention construction.
Sorry, it takes what it takes. Nice to see you again.
So nice to see you.
Want to see your finished house?
I'm dying to see it.
The house of all houses right now? Come on in.
In the end, it's beautiful. We did everything, and we did what we were supposed to do. It's a scary thought that when you buy a house as an investment to rent it out, you're looking to make some money. It's a smart move. Real estate you can't lose, right? Or can you?
I love the flooring, and I love the color on the wall.
It is an exotic wood. I really, really like it. It's an engineered wood, so we got some of the best guys installing it.
All new electrical, new panel, fixing the plumbing, pulling out rotten studs, pulling out all the mold that was involved with this.
I love it. I love what you've done, and I'm just going to love living here. I was just so fortunate to be able to get a hold of Mike, and his compassion is something that I'll never forget.
Am I blushing? Let me tell you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome so much.
In Italian, there's an expression that God closes a door and opens a window, and I think in my case, he opened 2 or 3 windows.
Ihor and Chris did the right thing when hiring a home inspector before they purchased their home. The home inspector, on the other hand, missed making the right call.
Oh my God! It's Carpenter ants.
Welcome back to the best of Homes on Homes. We're showing examples of the hidden dangers in the home that can be real health concerns. Mold is one of the most common reasons for abatement, and its removal is essential. We've done a lot of jobs where problems aren't visible until we start opening things up, but in this case, the mistakes were right in plain view.
All right, you've been here 6 months. Any issues you've noticed? Anything that is standing out that makes you concerned?
Well, after about a minute of showering, you're standing in an ankle deep in water.
The sewer gases that we smell down there are scary, disgusting.
It stinks. There's something wrong. The shower doesn't drain. Well, there's things wrong with it. It's not even close to right. It's against code. Chris and Ihor insisted on a home inspection before they purchased their home. Somehow, the inspector missed and gave it the all clear.
No signs of venting. Carried off, toilet running through, clean out. Total improper venting. Not to mention, we don't want to see the plumbing like this. It should be actually cut through the floor. This is not how we tie things in.
There was nothing in the report about the plumbing. The inspector said it was interesting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 junction points right here. You were told right out that everything was fine. Electrical was fine, plumbing was fine, not an issue, that it wouldn't cost money to fix. Let me guess.
Absolutely, that's exactly what was told to us.
Electrical's fine, plumbing's fine. You gotta be kidding me. I was there 5 minutes and I could see obvious problems. And I've always said, if you can see it right in front of your eyes, imagine what's behind it.
You got some mold, eh? Nice. Look at that.
Smells just getting worse. Is that mold for sure, Dave?
Yeah, that's mold.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that smell is. Okay, this is a surface mold. It's not a huge deal. However, it stinks. I did not honestly expect to see mold underneath the vinyl, but it all makes sense to me now that I see it leaking from the washing machine, leaking from the corner. That just slipped out, so obviously that slowly dripped. The floor is running this way. It got it.
Figuring out if you need to bring in a mold remediation company depends on the size of the area that contains the mold. In this case, the room was small enough that we could do the cleanup ourselves, but we still wanted the homeowners out of the house.
I have a lot of mold that I have to clean up, and I would bring it down to show it, but I'm concerned for your kids. So is there any way is there a place you can go for the night?
Yes, we certainly can.
Because I'm going to be doing not only a major cleanup, but I'm going to be doing a spray over top of it to kill the contaminants. Okay. And reading the directions, it says you shouldn't use around children until it's dry. Okay. So if I could actually get you to pack up and leave.
That's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not a problem.
Not a problem.
You're just using soap and water, right?
Yeah, just soap and water.
If you have a small area of mold, you only want to use soap and water to clean it. Never use bleach, please. The chemicals in bleach are more harmful to you than the mold itself.
We're going to pull up the plastic and we're going to put on our mold spray down on the floor, which is why I wanted the kids more than the reason anything gone between the spray and the mold.
Right.
Once it dries overnight, we're set.
Okay.
Okay?
Once we had cleaned up the floors and walls, now it was time to get back down to tearing out that basement. We had just started when we made our next discovery.
Yeah. See that, bud? Oh, yeah. Ants. Ooh, my.
A lot. And they're eating right into the wood.
Look at the nest. They got a nest of them.
And behind the paper?
In behind the paper.
Whoa. Look at that.
Wow, they're just gonna love the moisture in that wood.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at the nest in there. Just take that right outside.
All right.
As quick as you can.
Okay.
Can you fathom the thought that we come in really just to put in a new bathroom?
Look at that.
Yeah, it's carpenter ants. Not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. It looks like they're not going to be home for a few days because we're going to have to make a look at the holes.
Wow.
Now, how far are they gone is the question. Hopefully, they just love to stay in this one neighborhood, but they started to work their way up, and that's not a good sign. Oh, they're everywhere. Look at them. Oh, my God. Ah.
Carpenter ants don't eat wood like termites do, but they like to nest in wet or damp wood. But the damage they cause can still be quite extensive. We had to bring in the pros to get rid of them.
We found a mother nest right here yesterday. It was phenomenal. Had to be 1,000, at least 1,000. They came in through the holes like crazy. We got it down quickly, tried to get as much of the ants as we could, and then we sprayed like hell. Once we thought there was none left, sure enough, they jumped out of the hole and committed suicide. Sure. Concern. You know, we have the deck right there. That's what I'm thinking. If they started here, will they get into the deck? And sure enough, we started to gut the other side. And we're now starting to find the ants on the other side. Now, I got a question for you. Carpenter ants normally will stay in an area that's moist with the wood because they have to feed off it, right?
Absolutely. They actually don't feed on the wood. They live in the wood. When you get wet or damaged wood, it's a lot easier for them to nest in, to tunnel, to make damage, as opposed to new studs.
So what they did was they made a home here.
Absolutely.
Okay, unlike termites where they actually will feed through the wood, is that correct?
Yeah, termites will feed on the wood. Or carpenter ants will nest in the wood.
Okay, so far so good. We think we've got this. We know we have more issues over here. Does that possibly mean another nest?
It's very possible. This could be the mother nest here. You may get sometimes in different situations satellite nests where they may move a little further down depending on the situation. Sometimes they outgrow the area and they have to move a little further down. They may go up. Towards the end of the day when you're all done, we'll do a good residual spray. We'll probably, if you found a lot coming out of here and there's already holes here, they may be in the brick as well. So what we'll do is we'll drill some holes and what we'll inject is to kind of help flush them out. If they are in there, more will come out and then we'll know.
Which means the possibility is they could be living right within the whole void.
It's possible, but if you found the nest on this side of the wood, they prefer to be there rather than in the brick because the brick is going to be colder.
Makes sense. Let's have a warm home. The guys sprayed the entire basement to kill the remaining ants, and we fixed the areas where moisture could get in. On top of the electrical and plumbing issues we found, when I told Chris and Eeyore about the mold and ants, they were blown away. When we pulled up the vinyl floor, we found your major smell. We had so much mold, this whole floor was nothing but mold. Wow. We found a mega nest of carpenter ants.
Wow.
And I mean a mega nest.
I'm just freaked out. Who would have known? You know, you walk into this house and you look at it and it looked great. And it didn't take Mike long to find all these problems that should have been caught, or at least some of them.
A lot of people simply don't know what's lurking in their basements. I've got a perfect example of how an innocent kitchen reno could have led to a very serious environmental hazard for a guy considered a hero by a lot of people.
Maybe just take a look around here, like it became a horror show.
Welcome back to the Best of Homes on Homes. We've collected highlights from episodes featuring hidden dangers that need to be removed by what are called abatement specialists, the folks who can handle these potentially toxic situations safely. In this case, it took a main floor kitchen reno to lead us to a problem in the basement. Joanne and George have been living in the area for about 10 years. You know George, he's a boxer. He fought Muhammad Ali twice. He went the whole distance. This is George Chavello's house. He dedicates his life after boxing to help those that are addicted to drugs, that are down and out, and he wants to make a difference. Joanne.
How are you?
George.
Hey, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. Nice to see you again. George Chavello is a boxing hero, and he's a guy who gives back helping kids. And what happens? He gets ripped off by a contractor who really didn't know what he was doing. Electrical box right on the counter, built up, live. All the other electrical hanging out, pot lights in the attic that are not properly covered in insulation, all wrong. There's an upper cabinet mounted so high that nobody could even reach it. Cabinet work that doesn't go to the floor like it's supposed to. We're gonna pull it all out, unfortunately. You may have to eat at the restaurant for a couple of days, but...
We've been doing that anyway.
You've been doing that anyway?
Doing that for 4 months.
Sure.
By pulling it all out, I meant pulling it all out and starting from scratch. The idea was a totally open concept design incorporating the working kitchen with a center island and a small eating area to the right. To create that open concept, we brought in Paralam beams to span the width of the kitchen. While the crew placed those heavy beams, I checked out the basement and I found another problem. Come on in. When I first came in here, I came down to look at the plumbing, the electrical, and I go, oh, they have an oil tank. And I can see that's almost 3/4 full.
Yeah, on the gauge. See the corrosion starting down here on the end already?
Especially on this side.
That over there.
Yeah, right there. If the tank has been changed over to a natural gas, it must be at least emptied, and then you have a year to remove it or reuse it for something else.
Recommission, that's correct.
And if your tank is still being used and it's at least 20 years old, you should think about replacing it due to insurance reasons.
The insurance companies are asking the age of tanks now, and to get insurance on your house, they're pushing the issue that we want the tank upgraded to a new tank.
Because of the possible environmental disaster it can cause.
That's correct.
And you know what? That makes total sense to me. So what's the big deal, right? The basement floor is concrete. If it leaks, you just clean it up. Wrong. First, there's the smell. Once the oil gets into the concrete, it's almost impossible to get it out. So then you're breaking up the floor and hauling it to the landfill and then repouring a new floor. Okay, that's just time and money. But what if the oil leaks through the floor or gets underneath the floor and actually gets to the water table? We have to remove the oil tank, no question. In this case, we were lucky it hadn't leaked anywhere already.
What we'll do, where the fill and vent came in the top of the tank, we'll cut those with a reciprocating saw.
Okay.
Spin the pipe out. We've got a vacuum truck out front. And we'll bring a hose in and literally drain that tank dry. Then we'll cut the side of it out, because there'll be sludges and stuff in the bottom of that tank you really don't want to know about. And we'll vacuum it totally clean, and then we'll quarter it and take it out.
Cut it in pieces.
Cut it in pieces. What we do like to do, though, and always do, is where the film vent go out through the wall, remove them. Because every year, somebody gets a tank or a basement full of oil.
Get the hell out. You're telling me a truck that doesn't know any better
They get the
comes in
wrong
and sticks-
address
Oh my God.
by computer or whatever, and they come over and they fill, and it just goes right in the basement.
Oh my God.
So every year there's one or two of them. So we always remove the fill and vent from the building, so that can't happen.
Can you imagine being in your basement and all of a sudden you see a stream of oil pouring in from the outside? That's a definitely good reason to get rid of that oil tank and the filler tube.
This a nightmare turns into a beautiful dream. It's kind of that way. We dreamt about a beautiful dream, but it turned out to be a nightmare. But in the long run, it ends up a beautiful dream again, and a beautiful reality. That's what it's going to be. Beautiful reality. It will be nice.
That's not good. Not when I can take my finger and do that.
I see condensation on the glass, surface mold. It could have all been prevented with a bit of maintenance. Now it's going to take a lot more. Welcome back to the best of Homes on Homes. Abatement means getting rid of something. Could be animals, asbestos, mold, even oil from an old tank. All of that mold we find is the result of two things: moisture and organic products. Val and Dave, they bought this house around 10 years ago. Really nice. Bungalow. I love bungalows.
After the deal went through, we started seeing the brick kind of flaking.
And it's falling apart, literally. Like, you're vertical everywhere here.
Every winter since then, I guess because of the snow against it, water being absorbed by these poor bricks, more flakes off until you see the holes.
That's not good. Not when I can take my finger and do that.
I've seen this before where bricks have fallen apart due to weather, and mainly because moisture's getting in the brick. We are cold here in the winter. It freezes, boom. What happens when it freezes? It expands.
We thought we were doing right. We repaired the brick in the front bay windows with the brick we found in the garage. But of course, that was the brick the house was built with in the first place.
They wanted to get new windows in the front. But they can't do that because of the brick. So they put spray foam everywhere, trying to seal to stop any moisture from coming in. But, looking at it, there's other problems. I see condensation on the glass, surface mold. Now, it's pretty obvious that water was getting through the brick sills, then making its way down through the wall into the cavity and giving the mold a place to grow. But that didn't explain the moisture that was all over the inside of the windows. Right away, I was thinking of heating issues or lack of air movement. Question was, why?
Oh, here we are.
Here we are, guys.
As soon as I walked in the house, I knew exactly why. There was stuff piled everywhere. Boxes, bags, clothes, books. Every room of the house was filled with stuff. Here's the problem. There was so much stuff that it covered most of the heat registers and the cold air returns. So there was very little air movement inside that house. We do see the surface mold has come into your curtains as well. Do you ever open these curtains?
No, I do not.
As soon as I pulled back the drapes, it was mold city. It was even growing on the glass. That's what I call surface mold. Soap and water could clean up the mold on the window, but we needed to eliminate the moisture. There's no point cleaning up the mold until the bigger problems are addressed. Let's drop the brick on both bays right to the bottom. And anywhere else that we have brick repairs, we'll repair that. And anywhere the windows are, I'd like to pull it out and do precast. Are we in agreement?
Yes.
Yeah.
There is some dampness here. See it? We got a hole here at the bottom of the wood.
That goes right through. I expected way worse than this.
Actually, we got lucky. Like 6 months, a year from now, I think we would have been in bad shape here.
The plastic's there, but because of that one hole right there, the water went in like crazy, penetrated, hit the corner all the way down, and then come Mother Nature with carpenter ants, mice. Better than I expected. That's a good sign. But it is moldy, so we gotta lose it.
It turns out the bay window at the other side of the house had the same problem, but the rotting was worse.
All the signs show it that it's gotten in and just rotted it all. So much mice, and not just mice, look at ants galore were in here. So carpenter ants, like everything's lived in here because it's had all the food groups. Oh my God. Oh, now you're gonna find, look at, oh, eggs galore in that. Probably the carpenter ant eggs.
So they would have came back every year.
You can see it's just turned to dust, eh? Powder, that's just from them just chewing through it, and they'll use that probably as insulation. You know why I want that insulation out? We want to check to make sure that all the floor joists are fine, and also the critters that are living in it, let's get rid of them. The bugs, everything.
The drip is here for underneath, so when the water travels, it drips right off, completely off the brickwork. It doesn't touch the brickwork underneath the window. It has to be leveled across and sloped down this way, as close as possible to 15 degrees.
Fixing the sills and brick would prevent water from coming in from outside, but we still had to solve the moisture problem from inside. We spent days sorting through their stuff just to haul it away, 17 bins in total, just so the house could breathe again. Now, with proper airflow, we can get to the job at hand, replace the windows.
Wood windows. I love wood windows, I really do, but they need maintenance. That means keep the paint up, watch the caulking. What happened? We had a big hole in the window outside. We knew we had to restructure the hole outside. We knew we had surface mold on the inside of the window. So we removed the trim, and what do I see? A hell of a lot more than I want to. Here, look at this. The vapor barrier has actually stopped most of the penetration of the water coming in. We can see that the drywall's not too bad here, a little bit in the corner, but the wood is the problem. I have Brent here to install the windows. So as he pulls out the window, I'll wait for him on that one, pull this out, quickly pull this apart, put in a new top plate, if that's all we have to do, because that one stud appears to be fine. I may just have to put in a new top plate. But it's not just the top plate, is it? It's the drywall, it's the vapor barrier. Put it all back again, put the window in, retrim it, plaster it, prime it, paint it. From a simple window replacement to a lot more work due to not enough maintenance on your windows. Bad sign, people. Remember, this is paper, organic. Mold loves paper, it's the steak. It's the food they need. The two food groups, moisture, inside and out, paper.
With the brick repaired, the air circulation problems fixed, and the rotting frames replaced, we stopped all the sources of moisture. And with that, we fixed the mold issues. The sad part is that all of this could have been avoided with some simple home maintenance. Repairing work after a serious house fire sparked a whole new mess of problems for these homeowners.
You see the footprints, paw prints?
Paw prints here and there.
Did anybody touch this?
No.
Welcome back to the best of Homes on Homes. We're looking at all kinds of stories where we had to bring in abatement specialists. People to get rid of hidden dangers, whether it's mold, ants, asbestos, you name it. After almost 100 shows, there's a couple of stories that stand out. Like this one, a small house with big problems. Frank and her family had been living in the house for 18 years. Her daughter Daniela was home alone one night when the unthinkable happened.
I heard a noise, went upstairs, and I saw flames coming from underneath the door and got out.
The insurance company gave them a name of a contractor that could repair all the damage.
We were told that if we went with an insurance-approved contractor, that, they would back us up 100%, that, they would be the ones looking after the progress of the house and making sure that things were done in a timely fashion.
By the time I got there, the homeowners had been out of their house for 8 months. The house was nowhere near finished. The contractors, their work was full of problems. We took over the project and dealt with the insurance company directly. The first problem, raccoons had moved in.
We've been looking around. There used to be a hole on the side of the end gable here. Also looking up at the plastic. We can also see that they've dropped through, because the last time I was here, this was not down. I don't know if there's 1, 10, 20.
Take a look and see what's inside. And if there is something in there, we'll try and get it out. And then it's up to you guys, I'm assuming at this point, to make sure that they won't be able to get back in.
Oh, well, let me see the footprints, paw prints.
Paw prints here and there.
Yeah, there's a footprint right there, too. Yeah.
They could be anywhere. There's no way to know exactly where they're going to be.
I think we would have heard them moving. What do you think?
Not necessarily. You'd be surprised how quiet they can be.
Yeah?
You're going to be looking for a lot of footprints. Where the majority of the footprints are, raccoons all have what they call a communal toilet for the most part. Raccoons will go to the bathroom in the same spot. They've had free run of the place for 8 months, so they know it better than you and I do at this point. Well, there's a pile of droppings here, too.
There was only one job I was on before where we had one raccoon, and we were able to do it ourselves. We just scared him out of the attic, closed off the entrance, but this house here being vacant for so long, we thought we'd call these guys in because there could be 10 of them in here. We don't know. Is that their pee?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go get the guys to start cleaning up. You want to do a thorough? Work your way down. I'm gonna pull down the stuff. Don't sweat. They can live in there easy. All kinds of signs here. I don't know if that's raccoons chewing on that or squirrels. What they've done is they've ripped it apart, squirrels or raccoons, one or the other. So we definitely don't want this. We'll only keep the full pieces. But this just shows they're tearing it apart, trying to make a bed or whatever they're doing with it.
We're not sure why they come and go the way they do, but we've inspected it. It's not home.
Our sense of smell told us there was a little more abatement to be done, but not from the raccoons. Removing the insulation from the second floor, that's when we could smell the smoke from the fire.
See, it's funny, now that we take everything down, we can smell the smoke, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
So what are you gonna do?
Well, right now we're masking off all the items we know we're going to be keeping and want to keep in good shape, and just make sure there's no obstacles.
Do you have to spray the brick, or you're just mainly concentrating on?
We're going to spray the entire top floor here,
okay,
including floor.
You don't want to start the repair if you or the homeowner still smell smoke. And you have to be careful that it's a reality and not a perception, because some people walk into their house, they see the damage, which is a shock, they smell smoke, and they have this association with smoke and damage. They go back into the house after everything's ready in preparation for repair, and they still have this sense of smoke. It's a psychological factor, and we have to deal with it. Sense of smell is telling me I would continue to seal more here. You've gone this far and you're making this dramatic renovation, plus you've got the other additional element with the raccoon. So that will also help the situation.
We had barely finished sealing the smell on the second floor when we found a serious problem in the basement.
I think this is asbestos. Did anybody touch this?
No. No.
We're gonna pull all this down, but I don't even want to touch this until we find out if that's asbestos coating.
I think it is.
So do I. We're gonna have to call in our asbestos team.
For such a little house, the problems were one after the other, each one bigger and worse than the last. As our abatement team began the massive job of setting up to remove the asbestos, little did we know that wasn't the last thing we'd find wrong.
This could escalate into multi-thousands of dollars here.
Welcome back to the best of Homes on Homes. Abatement teams are the guys you bring in to remove anything toxic, dangerous, or even furry. In this case, we came in to finish a reno after a house fire and had to get out the raccoons, the smoke damage, and remove asbestos. In general, asbestos isn't dangerous unless it's disturbed and the fibers become airborne. In Frank and Daniela's house, no question, it was coming out.
It's a war zone.
Is this the walkout structure?
Yeah.
So we're in the dirty room. We go through the shower. Once you're through the shower, you're in the clean area.
Yeah.
This is not a small
This is the biggest
job.
part of this job is setup. The removal is only going to take us about an hour, so they'll be done.
Wow, you guys don't mess around. When I came in here and we took everything down, believe me, this place was a mess. We pulled 2 bins out of the basement alone. And the first thing I saw was this, and I knew it was asbestos. That's why I called you in. Is type 3 the worst?
Type 3 is worse. Basically, what we're doing right now.
This is type 3.
Because this is over so many square feet, right? After so many square feet, you got to set up a type 3.
Okay, so now that we're at a type 3, obviously this is too much. Must be totally wrapped. Now you're going to put in the air unit, which I see right here. The negative air. Right? And what that's going to do is pull out all contaminants, throw it outside, and then keep the inside clean. As you take it down, you'll bag it, make it airtight, right? That way it can go out.
We soak down asbestos when we do a type 3.
Okay.
We soak it down.
With water?
Yeah, with water, Water, dilute water.
What that does is help keep everything from flowing through the air. Okay, that makes total sense. And the idea is to tent this right off, that we work our way upstairs into the shower unit, which you clean yourself off and get rid of all contaminants. All right, so not recommended for your average homeowner.
No.
As long as you don't touch asbestos, it's not a danger. But as soon as you play with it, move it, break it, it now releases fibers into the air that are extremely dangerous for you to breathe. What these guys are doing is using a mixture of water and glue, and the idea is to knock down the fibers onto the floor, the fibers, the particles. We don't want it floating through the air. So this grabs it, holds it, easier to clean up. Hey, Marky.
Hey, Mike.
We got a sample. We're ready to test this out.
Got a sample. I'm gonna set it up, look at it through the microscope.
This is absolutely regular. Each and every time you have a crew come in to do a test, we'll have an outside crew, someone totally independent, to test to make sure it's safe.
Yeah. Testing the air quality within the site. Make sure it's matches what you guys are breathing out here. And then it would be safe for everyone to go inside. Used to be 360 liters to clear of air I'd have to collect to analyze. As of November 1st, it's become 2,400 liters.
So that's 7-8 times the difference, isn't it?
Yeah. The other new thing is forced air. So I take a leaf blower, blow
And
all the
purposely
surfaces.
move it.
Yeah, move all. If there's any fibers that are loose, it becomes airborne. Because of the size of the Type 3 enclosure, I had to take 3 samples, all of which have to pass. We'll find hair fibers, skin sometimes. It sucks up whatever's in the air. I've just taken a quarter of this, so if something happens while I'm mounting it, I've got another 3/4 to work with.
Very good.
I can't see through the filter, so I've got to blast it with vaporized acetone. The filter will go clear.
Oh, look at that.
I'll count every fiber that I see in 100 fields. I've got to look at 100 different fields and count the fibers in there. And not necessarily are they asbestos, but we are on the side of caution. So now I'm just looking for fibers. I move the slide itself around. And I think you're good.
What have you marked?
I've got 2 fibers. 2 fibers in 2,400 liters.
Can I see through this?
Sure.
Just to take a look, just out of curiosity. Oh, that is wild. If you can believe it, we finished the asbestos abatement and discovered another problem. There was an oil tank buried in the backyard. Surprise. We have got a world of hell today. We've got the TSSA in to help oversee removal of this oil tank, which now we have the company coming in. They're going to test to see what is in here, if the ground is contaminated, and I'm just finding out all kinds of stuff on contamination and what they have to do it. The problem with oil tanks buried in the ground is we don't know where they are. We don't know if they're rusted out. We don't even know if they've leaked and possibly into the water table. 1 liter of oil can contaminate 100,000 liters of water, and this can be extremely expensive to remediate. Let's just say it has contaminated the property. How can we determine a cost on the cleanup?
Well, the level of cleanup required now comes under the environmental guys that are involved. They come and determine how far it has leached into the ground, how far down it's gone into the ground, and what's involved with the terrain around it.
This could escalate into multi-thousands of dollars here.
Can you tell anything just by looking at it? Like, what am I seeing there in the slight beige brown there? What is that?
That's water.
That's water.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign?
It could have come in from the fill pipe.
Okay.
And over time, it's just the venting of the tank. You get warm air moving in and out, and cold air, and it condenses, and moisture forms.
It'll condensate inside.
Yeah, drips down, sits on the bottom.
A small hole in the bottom.
Well, it's a hole that's failed in the tank, so it's really led to the release of a lot of this product here, and it's gotten into the soil. You can see the stained soil down there.
This is not a good sign. We can see this appears to be oil, am I right?
Yep.
This is a worry for me that how far has it gone? What is it contaminated? Has it gotten into the water? Has it gotten into the neighbors? Do we have to remove that deck? Do we have to dig up the driveway? How far has it gone this way? That makes me worry. Most definitely. To find out, we had to take core samples of the earth, drilling down at various locations and depths in the backyard.
So we're going to be doing one in the driveway, one farther down, one on that side, but we'll also one through the center of where the tank was.
Okay.
Because that's going to be the point of highest concentration. We want to run down one at the depth. And we're going to put a well in there as well.
We're going to put a well in?
Yeah.
Meaning?
To monitor for groundwater, see if it's gone down into the groundwater.
Okay.
All right. This is the gray material that we were running across earlier.
Okay, right at the bottom?
Yeah. You can smell the odors in that.
Definitely.
Yeah. We'll be selecting samples out of these for analysis, so we can get the chemistry on it, know what the numbers are, and that'll help us to determine what how large a scope we're dealing with here.
It took about a week before the environmental guys finally showed up with the test results.
The previous results indicated that we clean here and against the house and the other samples that we'd taken earlier. And the sample that we took at 12 feet, there was a bit of detectable petroleum, but it was within the allowable limits.
Okay.
So we know we're clean at that level.
So since we know it's only in this area, and I'm really happy about that, we only have to dig out and get rid of the contaminated soil.
That's right.
That last story was an unbelievable example of how dangers can lurk without you even knowing. It's a reminder that some problems can get bigger, whether it's moisture, a few ants, or poor maintenance. If your house isn't healthy, you might not be healthy.
Who would he be? Bud, the pot-smoking pig. Pinky will love this.
She likes pink.
I know, but
That's it. She doesn't like stinky Pinky. To the Holmes team.
For more information about this show, please visit hgtv.ca.